Now you can learn how to make money when the market's going down. You can't just rely on markets going up. You need to be able to pull profits no matter which way the market's going. This way, you can see opportunity in every single time period, whether we're bearish or bullish. And this is the key. There's almost always opportunity, but it's up to you to see it. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do here should be taken as financial advice. Please get yourself a financial advisor and do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. Hi, my name is Sam Price. I'm known as the cryptolifer on YouTube. And today I want to talk about inverse profits. That's right, everyone thinks about a bull run, the market going up, money coming in, everyone just getting excited, big money. And that's the only way you can make money, right? In a bull run where everything's going up. But no. You can make money even when the market is tanking. Look, Bitcoin started here at 69,000 and it's all the way back down at 15,794 today. It has been completely collapsing. The price has been slowly going down lower and lower and lower. But there's money to be made. How is this possible that Bitcoin has been doing this? Yet, in my trading group, if you look at the gain section here, we've just been consistently making gains. 100%, 25%, 62%, and more. I'm going to explain two reasons why that is. Number one, price never goes straight down. You can see as we went down, we had this uptick, down, uptick, 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 down. So while we're, yes, trending down, there's still upticks, and that means there's still longs to be traded. And while we're moving to the downside, you can trade the shorts. The shorts pay better when you're trending down because the move, look how fast that short move was. Big gain, big gain. Even just yesterday, and over the weekend, we saw a massive short for Bitcoin. There was money to be made in the market. Today, I want to show you how to make money when the market's going down. Most people only know how to make money when the market's going up, but today I want to show you how to make inverse profits, how to make money when the market's going down. To do that, we're going to basically show you an example of the charts, and we're going to show you when Bitcoin was in a bearish flag or a bearish pattern. So first thing we're going to look at is Bitcoin, and we're going to show you what we were seeing for Bitcoin over the weekend and the last few days. So looking at Bitcoin, it began on the 4-hour time frame to make what's called a symmetrical triangle here. You see, and if we go back in time, I'm going to use this replay tool, which is a great tool, and we're going to go back to about right here for Bitcoin. Now, if we look at it closely, you can see Bitcoin went up, down, and it got tighter and tighter in this wedge. The tighter you get inside a wedge, the bigger the move is going to be. And when we get tighter in a wedge, I know that the timing of the move is coming. We're getting close to the timing. We're either going to break up or down. This is a symmetrical triangle. It breaks up or down 50% of the time. So when we're looking at this closely, we're saying, okay, if this breaks to the downside, it's going to create a massive short. Usually it does what's called a retest. It'll fall from the area of support or resistance. It'll come back and try to get back in, and it won't be able to get back in, and then it'll drop to the downside. We were looking for this kind of scenario here for Bitcoin. And we were saying if Bitcoin begins to drop, does the bearish retest, we're going to get a drop somewhere down to 15,600. And if that doesn't hold, somewhere down to 14,694. So let's press play, and we can clearly see that we did come to the side. We came down. On a smaller time frame, we did bearishly retest, and we continue to drop to the downside. Bitcoin did drop short, okay? So once I identified that Bitcoin was likely going to go to the downside and we were seeing a symmetrical triangle, my other oscillators showed me, which is a stochastics RSI, we were getting overbought. 22-hour time frame is a really good sign, showing overbought here. Highly likely we're going to make a move to the downside. So what did I do? I didn't get scared. I didn't freak out. I didn't panic sell. No. I got some capital together. You get situated, you get focused. So what I do is I go and I look at Matic, MATIC, USDT.3S, and that's going to be the Matic 3S short. What that is, it's a token that's going to give you 3 times the gains when Bitcoin dumps. So what I mean by that is, say Bitcoin drops 1%, a Bitcoin 3S token would go up 3%. All right, so when Bitcoin goes down, the 3S token goes up. Understand the inverse relationship, and that's why we call this inverse profits. So when we're looking here at Matic 3S, right, I had it in a 1-hour time frame, and at the same time that Bitcoin was in the tight triangle, we go back in time, Matic was in this flag. And so I knew that if Bitcoin was going to drop out of the pattern to the downside, that Matic was going to break to the upside and produce gains. The first gain I was looking for was just a quick gain of about 16%, but then we continued to flag and continued to go. And this short just continued to play out. So we got into the trade here when Bitcoin was about to fall out of the pattern. And then as Bitcoin fell out, this trade played out. And in total, it continued to go up and went up in total to the wick, all the way to the wick here. This went up a total of about 38%. And that happened in less than 36 hours, like literally about 24 hours. You would have gotten into this trade on Saturday, November 19th. And literally by the next day, Sunday night, this trade was up about 38%. It would come down, consolidate, and then it would pump again. Earlier today, we would talk about this possibly making another move to the upside. The 15-minute looked like it was likely to make a move. It was low on the stochastics, and this went up another, if you look here, about 19% gains on the day. So this trade, that trade, and that trade, these are three separate trades. Each made about 20% each time, 16, 20, and this one about another 20. All scalp trades, all made while Bitcoin was trending to the downside. So again, where do I do this? How do I do it? Well, I open up a Coinbase. I send the funds from Coinbase to KuCoin, preferably USDT Tether, okay? And then I use the Tether to buy a 3S token, Matic 3S. So here's the deal. Bitcoin is worth, let's say, 16,000. Matic's only worth 80 cents. Matic and Bitcoin are going to correlate. They're going to move exactly together. So if Bitcoin tanks from 16,000 to 15,000, Matic's going to go from 80 cents down to 70, maybe 60 cents. So if Bitcoin only goes down 1/16th, Matic may go down 1/25th. So you're going to get more of a move from Matic than you are for Bitcoin, but you know they're correlated. So once I know they're correlated, I find the correlated asset, which is Matic. All right. So I understand Bitcoin's going to go down and so is Matic. Then I trade Matic 3S as Bitcoin goes down because Matic 3S gives me the most gains. So if Matic dumps by 10%, Matic 3S goes up 30%. And that's how we were able to get about 38% out of the Bitcoin move to the downside. 49 actually in total, really. 49% gains in total from the entry to the top wick here of this trade. And so Bitcoin's tanking. Instead of getting emotional, we're using the 3S token to short the market. Another cool thing I like about this is the normal way to short would be to buy short contracts and have to open up a leverage trading site and get into leverage trading and use margin. You could get liquidated. It's high, there's a lot going on. It's emotional. But what if you've been with me? What if you learned how to trade bullishly and now you want to understand how to trade bearishly? Basically how to make money the other way. The 3S tokens, you can put bullish scenarios on and trade them just like a bull token. So if you were able to trade a bull market and you understood how to trade a bull market, you just trade the 3S tokens the exact same way. For instance, this is a bit of a bull flag. Symmetrical triangle broke to the upside, right? So you would trade this bullishly, get in at the bottom of the pattern and go for the measured move. So you don't have to learn how to short or look at the charts in the opposite manner. All you have to do is know how to long the same way and then long the short token. That may be confusing, but if you stay in my group, if you keep watching my live stream every day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. on YouTube, you're going to understand what's going on, and you're going to be privy to the information, and you're going to be able to figure this out. So again, Bitcoin's tanking. We look at the Matic 3S token, and we trade it to the upside. And so while Bitcoin dumps, this token moves to the upside, and we're able to make inverse profits. We're going to make profits inversely against the market, all right? And this is a great way to trade against the market. I do this all the time, and we pull gains out no matter what. So if the market's dumping, gains to be had. If the market's pumping, gains to be had. And that way, there's gains every single day of the week. It doesn't matter. If you position yourself in the right side of the trade with the proper probabilities, you have a high likelihood of making the trade play out, right? This is more likely to play out the way it was situated, and it did. All right, and that's why we took that trade. So when I see Bitcoin looking sketchy, I identify the move for Bitcoin. I look at the most highly probable move, and then I go find another asset that's correlated to it, and then I trade the inverse 3S token, and I'm able to make gains while Bitcoin goes to the downside. This is called inverse profits, okay? And this is the main way I'm able to take advantage of the market. You can use a link to KuCoin or to MEX Global. Both have access to these 3S tokens. MEX Global even has 4L and 5L tokens, which will give you even more exposure. It is high risk. Mind you, if the trade goes the opposite way, you can lose as fast as you can gain. A 3% pump in Bitcoin would give you a 9% loss on the short. So you can lose. It is high risk. You have to understand what you're doing and start small with small amounts and understand what you're doing, okay? I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do here should be taken as financial advice. Please get yourself a financial advisor and do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. Now, how I personally enter these trades is with 3 commas. It's a great interface, it's easier than the exchanges, and it makes things far more convenient. I pick the exchange once I've connected my API, which is KuCoin. I pick the what I want to trade in, which is Tether, the asset I would like to trade in, which is Tether. And then I can type in MATIC, and look, the Matic's there, the 3L and the 3S tokens. So I can either trade Matic by itself, I could trade Matic for BTC, or for Tether, I can trade the 3L and the 3S tokens. This is Matic 3S. This is how we trade the market inversely, okay? So if you look at this, I'm going to show you how I would set up a Matic trade. So I would look at Matic 3S, okay? I like to get in at the tightness of a wedge or at the bottom of the trend line of a wedge. So if we go back in time here and we zoom in and we go back in time in our time machine, this would be a beautiful place to get into Matic. And it suggests that it's going to make about 24% gains. I would be smart and probably put my profit at about 20%, all right? And then if just in case I got stopped out, I could put a stop loss below this. I like to use the long position for this, so I can get rid of this. I can put where I want to go up here. The long position is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 icons down, and it's the top icon. You can star it and it will go into your favorites and you'll be able to use it whenever you want in this area here. If anything you star will end up being put down here in this quick accessible keypad area, right? So here you can see you can make gains of 23%, and then you want this to be a 3-to-1 ratio. And so we're going to bring this down, and our stop loss should be somewhere at about 7%, all right? So we're going to risk 7% to gain 23%. Not too shabby. So we're going to go over here and we're going to limit in at that price. You know, if it's at the price, we're back in time, but say you're at that price, you would limit in, okay? You'd hit your profit, and we're going to say we're going to take about 21% out of the trade. Our stop loss, we're going to say, is negative 7%, and we hit create the trade. You hit that, you're going to enter the trade at the ask. It's going to create a limit order to sell at the profit, and it's going to create a stop loss to protect you in case price decides to drop. And when the price pumps up like it did, it'll hit your target, your limit order, and you will make that gain, which is exactly what happened. So that's how I am trading the market inversely, all right? Bitcoin goes up, I trade the market inversely with the 3S tokens. And that's it in a nutshell. And you can trade many 3S tokens. I have a list here of all the 3S tokens on KuCoin put together. It's a nice hefty list. It's about, I'd say about 30 to 40 coins ready to go. We have GMT, and you can see they're the biggest gainers of the day, up 15%, Sushi Swap, Uni, Atom, BNB, Gala. And yeah, every single short went up beautifully today to the upside and made some nice gains. So that's how I do it. All right. And you make the most on the altcoins because they move with the most movement against Bitcoin. So Bitcoin drops a little bit, the altcoins drop even more, and then you can trade the 3S tokens for more gains. This is how you can have a happy day when everyone else is freaking out, sad, in fear, and, crying tears of pain. You can be crying tears of joy because you will have been making gains on a day when most people are not. And so that's just what I want you to understand, and I want you to focus on. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you got a lot out of the strategies in which I use to gain profits when the market's going down. These coins are on KuCoin and MEX Global specifically. They may be on other exchanges, but this is the specific 2 exchanges in which I like to use. They're safe, they've been solvent, and so far everything has been working fine with those exchanges. If you like the information that you received today and you would like to get more, know that I live stream from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m.